Before Amazon owned your evenings, Saturday afternoon meant a bookstore the size of a warehouse. Coffee smell, carpet paths, and a stack of hardcovers you swore you would finish. You did not go in for one title. You went to wander, sit, flip pages you would never buy, and leave with 3 more than you planned. Borders turned that ritual into a national chain. Big box bookstores with cafes, magazines, and a bet that discovery still happened in person. At its peak, Borders operated hundreds of superstores across the US and abroad. Then the shelves emptied, the cafes closed, and the brand became a punchline about Amazon. Everyone points at the cardboard boxes on the porch. Fair. Amazon changed the price of waiting. But if that is the whole story, you're missing the self-inflicted part. Borders did not just lose to the internet. It outsourced its own online store, loaded debt after a private equity era, and arrived late to ebooks with a device nobody wanted. This is how a bookstore empire that sold the weekend lost the week, and then the decade. I'm not going to pretend Amazon was innocent. I'm going to show you where Borders helped them win. Rewind to in Arbor, Michigan, 1971. Tom and Louis Borders opened a used bookstore near the University of Michigan. Inventory obsessive, college town hungry. They built a computer inventory system when most bookstores still ran on index cards. That nerdy logistics edge becomes the real product, knowing what is on the shelf. Think of it like a restaurant that invents a better kitchen before it invents a prettier dining room. Borders scales because the back office works. Word spreads beyond campus. People drive in for selection you cannot get at a corner shop. Borders learns that inventory breadth is a magnet. Kmart acquires Borders in the early 90s, then spins it out. The brand graduates from college town to Mall America, with public market expectations attached. Once you're public, growth is not optional. You open stores because the model says open stores, even when the next threat is not a rival mall. The playbook is category killer retail. Enormous stores, deep selection, soft chairs that say stay a while, then buy more than you meant to. Bestsellers get front-of-house real estate. Publishers pay for placement. Borders becomes a discovery machine that publishers need as much as customers do. At a cafe, and you're not a bookseller anymore. You are a third place, cheaper than a restaurant, quieter than a mall food court, sticky for hours. Malls want an anchor that looks cultured. Borders wants foot traffic. For a while, both get what they want. By the late 90s, Borders is a national chain fighting Barnes and Noble store for store. Same square footage war, same cafe wars, same discount coupons. Barnes & Noble is the obvious rival on the ground. Online, something smaller and weirder is growing in Seattle, and Borders treats it like a side channel, not a new category. They even expand into music and movies inside the same footprint. More SKUs, more inventory risk, more reasons to visit until digital media arrives. Here is the expansion curve. More stores, more leases, more inventory. The rise looks healthy if you only look through 2004. Amazon launches in 1994 as an online bookstore. Borders eventually partners Amazon to run Borders.com, outsourcing the channel that would eat retail. From roughly 2001 into the mid-2000s, Amazon operates Borders' online store. Borders collects a cut. Amazon collects the customer relationship. Handing your website to the competitor is like hiring the other restaurant to take your takeout orders. Customers learn Amazon's habits on Borders traffic. Convenience compounds. Price comparison becomes a phone habit. The store is still great for browsing, and worse for buying when you already know the title. Showrooming arrives early in books. Why pay full retail under fluorescent lights when the same ISBN is cheaper at home tonight? Traffic softens. Cafes stay open later with fewer buyers. The experiential advantage that built the brand starts costing rent without converting. Independents get crushed first. Then the big boxes discover they are not immune. They just had more time on the clock. And the malls themselves weaken. Borders is married to an ecosystem that is aging at the same speed as its own leases. In the mid-2000s, Borders cycles through strategy and ownership pressure. Debt and leases do not care that browsing feels magical. Management debates, store closures, international exits, and digital bets. Every delayed decision burns cash that Amazon is using to build warehouses. International stores look like growth on a slide deck. until currency, logistics, and local competition turn them into distractions from the U.S. core. When ebooks explode, Borders partners on the Kobo reader instead of owning a Kindle-like franchise. Another platform moment, outsourced again. Print does not die overnight, but the customer who used to buy 3 impulse hardcovers now downloads 1 novel at midnight. Borders still pays for lights and carpet. Same-store sales crack. Inventory turns slow. Publishers tighten terms. The balance sheet starts telling a story the cafes cannot paper over. Here is the real issue. Borders kept optimizing the Saturday experience while the weekday purchase moved to a browser tab. Extend the graph. Peak, then the slide, stores still open while the model underneath is already underwater. In February 2011, Borders files for Chapter 11. Liquidation sales follow. The weekend ritual becomes a clearance bin. Yellow signs go up. Everything must go. The brand that sold browsing now sells urgency. Creditors, landlords, and publishers line up. A reorganization plan fails to convince enough capital that brick-and-mortar books can outrun Amazon. Shelves thin out. Employees pack boxes. Customers show up for half-off nostalgia, the last time the brand feels crowded. By September 2011, the remaining U.S. stores are headed for liquidation. Borders Group as a retail chain is effectively over. Strip mall spaces go dark. Some become gyms or dollar stores. The bookstore-shaped hole stays in the culture longer than the lease does. Amazon wins the category, then keeps going into everything. Borders becomes a case study in outsourcing your future to the company that wants your customers. Ironically, some independents survive by doing what Borders scaled away from: curation, community events, and being the anti-warehouse. Barnes and Noble limps into the ebook era and later gets a second life as a niche brand. Borders does not get that sequel. The lesson is not that people stopped loving books. It is that Borders sold the experience, then rented the distribution to the rival that sold the click. So is it Amazon, ebooks, or the decision to let Amazon run the website? Drop your take in the comments, and tell me which bookstore chain you miss most. If you want more rise and fall breakdowns like this, subscribe. Next time, another company that owned a ritual, then lost the decade.